Am I the asshole for taking my fiancé's dinner after he touched mine? I'll be quick. My F26 fiancé M32 is blind. We don't disagree a lot except he always gets bothered whenever I eat different food from what he's eating when we go out. Like, if we're having dinner out and I order else, he'd instantly get upset and accuse me of treating him as less than when I just have different taste in foods. I'd just eat what he eats to keep the piece I eat out alone as alternative, but since he clearly doesn't trust me, he'd randomly touch my plate to see if I'm having the same dish. This caused huge arguments between us, and I told him to stop doing it and he said he would. We went out to eat nights ago, and I ordered the same dish he ordered. When the food arrived, he looked somewhat uncomfortable. I asked what was wrong and he refused to say. And before I could even grab the fork, he extended his arm and his hand touched the food on my plate. He moved quickly and started excusing what he did, saying he just wanted to make sure. But I lost it on him. I felt so grossed out and there was no way I could eat the food after he touched it. He tried to get me to drop it, saying I shouldn't be grossed out by his hand, and that I overreacted, etc. But I grabbed his plate and told him that I was taking it as my donna. He at first asked me to be rational and give the plate back, but I refused. An argument ensued and we had a fight. He then ended up leaving, started spam texting me accusing me of being bitter, pathetic and childish, and robbing his dinner. He went to stay with his friend who picked him up and his friend sided with him, saying I was in the wrong. Even went as far as to say that I was abusing my fiancé and financially controlling him when I pointed out that I was the one who paid for the food. The problem is magnified now with him wanting an apology and me refusing to give him one. My parents think I should have more patience and that this is just typical love spats between us. But I'm not sure. Was I the R with how I handled this? Edit. I want to point out that this is not the case when we ate at home. He has no issue with me eating different food. But in public it's a different story. Info. Why on earth does he insist that you must order the same dish he orders at restaurants? And why on earth are you actually following this rule he's implemented? This is ridiculously controlling. Why are you with someone this irrational and controlling? I just eat what he eats to keep the peace. You know that's not okay, right? Not the asshole, but Henry think this relationship. Not the asshole. It's not abuse to want your so to not put the damn hands on your food. Not the asshole. What in the shitting hell did I just read? He throws a strop if you don't order exactly the same meal as him. And if you do, he touches your food. This man is deranged. Run far. Run fast. Not the asshole. List of red flags. Him insisting you eat the same food as him. Him feeling he has the right to check to make sure. Him putting his hands on your food. Him continuing to touch your food after saying he would stop. X200B. There is something going on there. And you shouldn't ignore it. Your fiancé is extremely controlling. You can't even order what you want at a restaurant. Why are you hanging on to this relationship? Not the asshole, but you can do better and are not required to torture yourself this way. Not sure why you believe you deserve to be treated like this. It's not normal or okay or even a small thing. Get out now. WTF did I just read? You're prepared to marry someone who literally thinks it's reasonable to control what you eat and puts his hands in your food because he doesn't trust you. Not the asshole, but why would you evenly vaguely agree to this? Not the asshole. Okay, look, his behavior is unacceptable on so very many levels. Why can't you just get what you want? How on earth does he think you're getting something else? He's not deaf too, is he? Why doesn't he trust you? Honey, you are living in a sea of red flags. I don't care that your fiancé is blind, he is controlling, immature, and frankly ridiculous. You can do better. Not the asshole. Please don't marry this man. He won't let you order something different from what he orders. Girl. Are you really so desperate? Is the bar really this low? Being single is better than this. Please leave this manipulative weirdo. It's only gonna get worse. Not the asshole. He is super controlling. Why on earth do you have to eat the same meal as him when you're going out? He said he would stop touching your food and he lied. Not the asshole. Do not marry this guy, he is acting super controlling and emotionally immature. Like, who gets upset someone is eating different food from them who isn't 5 years old? Also, he doesn't trust you or respect your boundaries and sounds like a miserable person. He's weird. You're not allowed to eat unless it's the same thing he's eating. Leave this man immediately. He is blind, not deaf. Can't he bloody hear you giving the order? Not the asshole. Just because you're blind doesn't mean you are excused from having manners. The idea of you eating something different being perceived slight to him is so ridiculous. If that's his hang-up, then you order and he eats whatever you eat. It's only different when he can't control you. Then you actually agree to this controlling BS and he still can't respect your boundaries. Oh, an apology is owed, but by him to you. Hope other things make this relationship worthwhile because he sounds horrible. Not the asshole. My son is disabled. Disabilities are not an excuse to control people. Not the asshole. I still don't understand the whole I can't order different food than him cause he will feel less. Then does he do this with all his friends? Everybody at the table must order what he gets so he doesn't feel inferior. It makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely not the asshole. Dear Lord. Your fiancé seems like he could use some help. I don't find it at all normal that you have to eat the exact same thing as him. And you shouldn't do so just to keep the peace. Not the asshole. And first things first. Why do you have to order same food as him? This is already a red flag control issue. Now he doesn't trust you and is touching your escalating. You need to ask yourself if you can live like this for the rest of your why. Shoot. If you have kids, do the kids also have to eat the same food? Or will they get to eat different and then you can nibble off the plate? See how ridiculous this life is. It's too much. Not the asshole. This is absolutely nothing to do with who touched whose food. But it's everything to do with the fact you're with a man so controlling of you that he dictates what you eat. This is a massive red flag. Does he control other areas of your life as well like this? Apologize. I'm sorry I wasted this much time on a control freak. I wish you a good life. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, but you'd be tartar yourself if you married this guy. What psychological torment is he trying to pull, policing your eating under some BS excuse? You need to leave him. Cut your losers and enjoy a lifetime of getting to order what you actually want to eat. Not the asshole. It's weird and unhygienic to touch other people's food. Also, his whole rule about eating the same thing is so odd. And the way he's treating it so seriously feels super controlling. Your fiancé is bitter, pathetic and childish. Not the asshole. There are a lot of red flags here. Don't marry a man who is this controlling and disrespectful. He can just stay with that friend.